Freedom Friends, Winnie here. We are on our second week of Heroes and Villains. Our hero this week is named Abigail. She's our main focus this week, but we're going to have two other characters we're talking about also. And we're going to be talking about God's power in me calls me to action. And that's what Abigail's doing. So we also have another character, King David. We should all know him. He's the guy that slayed the giant and, well, giants. And then we also have Abigail's husband, Nabal. I'll just call him Nabal. He's not a nice man. He's who we're going to call the villain in this story today. He's not a good man. So, come on now, mask. I'm a hero, I promise. It's just my mask doesn't want to stay on my face. Anyway, we're talking about Abigail and Nabal. They are married, they're together, and Nabal is a very, very rich man. Super, super rich. He's got like thousands of like sheep and different things. He's a pretty big dude back in the day in the Bible times. So Nabal, he's got guys out shearing his sheep because, he has to make his money. So he's doing that. He's doing it in a town that is part of David's kingdom, and they're watching out for him. They're protecting him. And the guys are saying, hey, there's this festival coming up soon, a Jewish holiday, and we're supposed to be having a feast, but we don't have any food for our feast. Can you guys please go ask your boss, Nabal, if he can prepare a feast for us? Doesn't have to be anything fancy, just, bring us some food. And this holiday specifically says that if you know somebody who doesn't have food, feed them. So he says, tell them all the good things we did to protect you and see if you can bring us back some food. Well, the workers for Nabal went over to Nabal and they say, hey, Nabal, this guy, he's been taking care of us. He's pretty nice. His name is David. Him and his men, they don't really have any food. Can we bring him some? I mean, you're rich. You have a lot of food. You have a lot to spare. Well, Nabal, he is not a good character. If you remember last week, Pastor Ken said your name is very important and it can kind of speak life into you. Well, Nabal, his name literally meant fool. If I was somebody who my parents named me fool, I probably wouldn't be happy, but he acted like a fool. He said, I don't know who this David is. I don't know who you're talking about. Tell him I am not going to help him at all. Ooh. So Nabal's men, they had to go back out and go to David's men and David and say, so my boss said he's not going to help you out. I'm really sorry. Well, David got mad. Oh, he got so mad. He said, you know what? I'm going to take me and 600 men and we're going to go up to Nabal and show him who's boss. Oh, he was so hot-headed. So the workers are like, oh no. So while David's preparing his army, they're running back. And they know, well, Nabal is a fool. We can't talk to him. So they go to his wife, Abigail. Now, she has really good character traits. She is wise. The Bible also says that she's a beautiful woman and she's very kind. And again, wise. So they know, let's go to her. So they go to her and they say, your husband, he was supposed to prepare a feast for David and he just kind of made fun of David and made a mockery of him. And now David is coming after us. He just wanted food. Oh, so Abigail, in her wisdom, she was like, go to the kitchens, tell them to prepare all this yummy food, and then we will bring it up to them. So they are on their donkeys. They loaded them all up with all the food. You got some bread, some eggs, got to have your juicy juice. She's got it all for them. She's bringing it to them. And then when thankfully she meets David before he actually gets to the kingdom and can do what he said he wanted to do. And she falls down on her face and she says, I am so sorry. My husband was a fool. He should not have said those things to you. You were kind to him and he did not repay your kindness. Please do not attack him. Even though my husband was sinful, please do not repay him in sin. You know God doesn't want you to kill him. God will take care of this for you and he will bless you for doing the right thing. Well, David said her attitude and her wisdom helped cool him down. And he was like, wow, you know what? I agree. I don't want to do this. God doesn't want me to do this. And so he said, let it be as you said. And he went back to his kingdom. Whew, thank goodness we almost died. Really, if we're talking about it, we could have died. So Abigail, she knows that they saved us. So let's go ahead and let's go back home. She waits until the next morning. She talks to her husband. She said, hey, just so you know, King David, the guy that you made fun of, he was going to come out and he was going to hurt us. But you know what? I smoothed things over. I let them know that what happened was wrong and I apologized and I fed them. What we should have done in the first place, took action. And the king was just like, oh, I can't believe it. He had like a heart attack, like the Bible literally says. Look this up. It's in 1 Samuel chapter 25, if you want to read this. It's pretty short. You guys can do it. He has a heart attack, and 10 days later, he dies. Woo. Just like Abigail said, God would repay King David for doing what he did, and Nabal for doing what he did. And so he died. King David comes on down and he was like, I'm so sorry that your husband died. It was just like you said, God repaid him for the evil he did. But hey, I like you, you like me, let's get married. I mean, it didn't quite happen like that, but essentially, and so they got married. And when I was thinking about Abigail and how wise she was, it reminded me of my mom. And I was thinking about, there was times where my mom stopped and gave me advice and stopped me from doing something foolish too. And I have a, did you know, we call our moms, mother, mom, mommy, mama. We've got a lot of names for them. But in Hebrew, they call their moms Ima. So if you're over in Hebrew land, we'll say Happy Ima Day. And to all the moms here viewing this, Happy Mother's Day. This is Winnie signing out. Have a great week.